Devin Manning is a name I don't have that much nostalgia for. I remember watching Riskrim's videos on Five Nights at the Illuminati's 1 and 2 back in elementary school, as me and my brother kind of loved soccer back then. But yeah, that's really the only nostalgia I have for any of his stuff. Now, this will be the first in a series where I go over all of 26, although as of making this, there's 27 now, of Devin Manning's, aka Noip's, Fangames, which was originally going to be one big video, but I wasn't having fun, so I thought, I would split them up into multiple parts. So, for example, this video will be all 3 Five Nights at the Mines games. The next video might be all 4 of the classic Five Nights at the Illuminati games. The one after that could be the Illuminati Remaster games, so on and so forth. Then when I eventually finish talking about these games, I'll have a bigger video where all of them are edited together. There's also not a lot of information about Devin Manning's games, because he ended up deleting his YouTube and Game Jolt in like 2018 because he was exposed for being a pedophile. So there's just not a lot of information known. I don't know if it's just because the games weren't popular or if nobody cared or what. So in this retrospective, you will be hearing me use a lot of speculative language, and I will be using a few wikis for any information. Devin's Twitter, YouTube, and Game Jolt were all scrapped, and his itch.io page has been long deactivated. However, he did leave a note saying, "This account is long dead. To everyone, I'm terribly sorry for what I did. No matter how much I want to move past it, I get reminded and then the anxiety kicks into full gear. I completely regret what I did, and to be considered what lots think I am makes me ashamed. I am against what I did. I don't know the words to express how sorry I am. I am really sorry to everyone. I know what I did. I know what could happen. I know the community really hates me even more than it already had. I'm an idiot. This is the only public account I still have access to. I cut myself off from getting to them, going as far as deleting the file I had the password stored in, none of which I remember. I am sorry, and I will continue to be sorry for as long as I live. I don't want sympathy. I won't get forgiveness. I am and will forever continue to be sorry." I brought this up just because I want to get this out of the way, and I'm probably not going to mention it in the rest of this retrospective. So now that that's done, we can finally actually get to Five Nights at the Mine. As you could tell by the name and the look, this is one of the many Fnaf x Minecraft games, which there are a lot of, which is not surprising. Minecraft is made up majorly of kids, and it does have a very simplistic look to it. I personally never really liked the way these games look. I much prefer like the Photoshop era of like Five Nights at Freddy's, the Blank Simulator games, the Wario's Photoshop stuff, that kind of stuff. Fnaf has a small number of threats. The only threats in this game are the Creeper, the Zombie, the Skeleton, and Herobrine. The Creeper, Zombie, and Skeleton are all fooled by the mask. You might be wondering, what's stopping us from just wearing the mask all night? And here's the thing, there isn't. Technically there is, as you have a breath bar. If it goes out, you die. However, it takes so long to go down, and you could fill up the breath bar again faster than you could bring it down, meaning you could take the mask off for a second, put it back on, and just do it. Repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat, and that's what I did. I was able to cheese the gameplay like this. And it's fucking terrible, because these nights are 9 minutes long. Thankfully though, on night 5, we do have a wrench thrown in. that being Herobrine. I'm just fucking with you. Herobrine is an attempt at a wrench. However, you could do the usual gameplay, but you just have to look to the right as he can't spawn on the right. Thank fuck there's not a 6th night, but if the wiki is to be believed, this game was released on March 30th, 2015, after Fnaf 2, which cut the nights down from 9 minutes in the first game to 6 minutes. So, cool, I appreciate you, Devin. I try to think of other things to talk about this game, because I don't like it to be that short and that negative. Zombie Wars SMT is the phone guy. It's all I got. But let's move on to the sequel.
Hello? I have some news to tell you.
For the love of God! For the love of God!
Five Nights at the Mine 2 was supposedly released on April 4th, 2015. This game is just as bad as the first. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I do like this a wee bit better just because it actually forces you to use the cameras. And by that, I mean one camera. It's just as easy as the first though. Unlike the first where you can wear the mask for all of it, put it on in a millisecond and just repeat for 9 minutes, you have to keep the vent door sealed and then put the mask on. And that's basically it for most of the nights. The enemies are the zombie, the creeper, the enderman, the spider, the skeleton, and Herobrine. The skeleton and spider are blocked by closing the vent and is dealt with the mask. So how do you deal with Herobrine? Easy, you flash yourself with the light. Wait, yourself? Whatever. I can't really speak about this game because there's not much to say. It's just as bad as the first. This is Editing John here, but two things I forgot to mention. One, the phone guy is fucking impossible to listen. I'll play you the audio now.
Now it's time to tell you your job. Your job is to protect the facility as well.
And two, you might see on the left side there's a camera usability that just disappears on later nights. I don't know what happened with it, but it's just gone, man. Five Nights at the Mines 3 was released on April 20th, 2015. And there's only one video about this game with a few hundred views. Now, this game actually has one enemy, that being the Enderman. He'll move to one of the 3 hallways in front of you. However, you're unable to flash down the hallways. So, how do you see them? Well, that's easy. You see, in the cameras you have a button called Find Mob. If you don't see him, then click that button, and if he's in the hallways, he will be shown as a red circle. Immediately turn the power off. Now, you're not able to just spam the power off button. If you do, you'll die, and it does take a while for the toxin to slowly deplete, so I will give Devin credit. He finally made a game where you can't easily cheese it. Congrats. It's not perfect, though. I, for example, would like at least one more enemy to deal with, like maybe have it so like a zombie is behind you and you have to deal with them. The phone calls are really weird because you only have one that's recorded live and then the other ones are just kind of remixed. Although I do like how the Enderman will often blend into the cameras and make it really hard to see. That was pretty cool. It reminded me a lot of one of my favorite aspects of Fnaf 3 and made it so the game was actually decently tense. When I first played this game, I genuinely thought the game was unfinished because it booted me out after beating Night 2, and then I went to go get footage for this game. So I beat Night 2 again, and then finally it let me play Night 3. So that was really weird. It's nothing important, but I need to pad this video out. Now, there are after night mini games, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty confused on what the story is. There's even a mini game difficulty for some reason. I think it's about the purple guy getting killed and stuffed inside the Enderman. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to have to replay this game just for these mini games, and I couldn't find them on YouTube because there's only one video. The nights were thankfully not 9 minutes long, and I don't know if this is because I've had to play the first 2 games, but honestly, I kinda like this game. In fact, I would say it wasn't bad. I also don't like how the mechanics are explained. It took me a bit to realize you had to wait until he left before you used the find mob button. I felt that was poorly explained, but other than that, that was Five Nights at the Mine 3. And if you, for whatever reason, want to play any of these games, I would say just stick to the third, because it's the only halfway decent game in this entire trilogy. And that is part 1 of the Devin Manning retrospective. I'll see you next time whenever I decide to talk about another game in this series.